well, I guess in my speech, I covered a lot of things. But one of the things is I want to move our health insurance closer to what Singapore has. And 2 years ago, I said that Singapore has the lowest expense of any industrialized nation for healthcare by a lot. It's much less than half the next closest. And 2 years ago, they had the second best health outcomes in the world. That's no longer true. They now have the best health outcomes in the world. And so what I want to do is basically emulate what they do, because presently what we have with Medicaid, in Oregon they had a study that showed when they expanded Medicaid, they randomly picked people, and some people randomly got health insurance, and some of them went Medicaid, and some of them stayed uninsured, that there was no statistical significance in the difference of medical outcomes between those who have Medicaid and those who are uninsured. It is an ineffective program at actually delivering health care to the recipients. It does give them money, which I'll get to that on how we can go, but it is ineffective at healthcare. And there are certain people that when you want to give away too many things, like in New York, they started covering all hospital trips at 100% in an ambulance. And you know what happened? People were taking ambulances when they shouldn't be, and the ambulance utilization went through the roof for non-essential travel. So what should we do? We should, again, emulate Singapore as we can do. Basically what they do is they give people money if they're poor. And so they can put in a health savings account. We already have something set up like that. We require every citizen to purchase catastrophic illness insurance, and there'll be plenty of money with the amount of money we could fund, which we're already doing with the Medicaid expansion. And then the main way they actually get the better health outcomes is you cannot have a fixed amount copay for a medical bill. You can't just say, I've got a $25 copay. I just went to the doctor, I had to pay $25. It didn't matter as long as they're in network where they're all, it's $25. The doctor has no reason to try and compete for better cost because I don't see it, so why would I try and shop around? And that's a lot of times what happens, is if you make people shop around by actually having a fixed percentage, you could even make it high if you wanted to. You could make it 90%, but then it still is, it takes more money out of my pocket if I go to a place that spends too much money. It will get them to lower their health, or their overheads, if there actually is a reason for them to do it. There's no reason for that right now. And if we want to actually improve our healthcare system, like Mike was saying, it's a right. But you know what? The FDA doesn't allow you to have certain things. We had a man come to Dallas with Ebola. He had to wait 2 days for a bureaucrat to approve him to get a treatment for Ebola. We have to have better compassionate use laws so that if someone is dying, a doctor can prescribe them anything. Furthermore, if we make the medication in the state, it is not interstate commerce, and they could prescribe anything even if it's not compassionate use. My daughter has eczema, and it was really bad when she was a child, and I would love to have been able to try experimental cures for her so that her fingers wouldn't bleed every time she pets a dog. But our system right now is not legal for me to do that. If we make doctors be able to prescribe anything, then we can get better health outcomes, because I agree, healthcare is a right, and right now the government prevents you from getting the healthcare that your doctor wants in many cases. And also on improving the healthcare, we need to get rid of certificate of public needs. These are terrible things, that they cause worse outcomes, and they make us spend more money. In the last debate, neither of my opponents came out against it. I would love to give them the opportunity to come out against certificate of public needs now. Thank you.
Thank you. Shelley Simons.